Oh, man, did you watch the debates? Jimmy Kimmel said it got off to an interesting start. You know, they flipped a coin to determine who would get the first question. But when Trump saw the quarter in the air, he said, "Hey, that's how much I paid in taxes last year." Colbert said, "We have emerged from the mad whirlwind where we gazed into the forbidden countenance of God himself. And he said unto us, Jesus, stop interrupting him, you giant baby." Fallon, seriously, did anyone take anything away from that? Was that helpful to any American? The only person who enjoyed that was Vladimir Putin while stroking a cat. Fallon, honestly, sitting through that debate felt like getting a COVID test in both nostrils at once. Fallon, actually, the debate made history. It was the first time Americans ever watched something on TV and wished there were commercials. That's really good. Fallon, you know it was a rough debate when the guy who told the president to shut up was seen as the classy candidate. Kimmel, because of the pandemic, there's no opening handshake tonight. There's no physical contact. The candidates remained socially distant the whole time. It was like date night with Melania. And Kimmel said, "I'd call it a nightmare, but at least during a nightmare, you'd get some sleep." Fallon, before the debate, Chris Wallace said if he did his job right, it would be like he's not there. Well, mission accomplished, and Fallon crushing it. Chris Wallace felt like a kindergarten teacher running a class on Zoom. Kimmel, Trump treated Chris Wallace like he was Eric asking for more allowance money. Kimmel, you know, things are getting heated when the moderator pleads, "Please, gentlemen, let's return to the topic of race." And Fallon, things got really ugly after the debate was over. Wallace said he wants to moderate something a little more civil, like a Real Housewives reunion or a back alley knife fight. But I think the win goes to Rachel Maddow, who tweeted, "Perhaps we could also debate by mail." Oh boy, that's a lot of fun. We didn't even get to talk about Trump's taxes yet. Maybe we'll get to those jokes tomorrow. From the New York Post, your home for comedy news, page 6 has learned that Dave Chappelle's intimately social distance affair concerts in the park in Yellow Springs, Ohio. On Friday, they had to postpone the whole thing because one of the recurring performers on the bill is believed to have contracted coronavirus. It is not a famous person. We hope the person is okay, but it's not like it's Chappelle or, I don't know, Bill Burr or somebody. As the Post phrases it, we've been told the individual's name but won't be publishing it. It's not one of the comics listed above, and the above were all famous people. The official statement, due to the possible exposure to COVID-19 within our inner circle and out of an abundance of caution, we have elected to cancel the remaining shows for the past 3 months of the pandemic. Dave Chappelle has successfully created a safe haven for comedians, musicians, and poets to express their art without incident. Social distancing, face masks, hand sanitizer, temperature checks, and access to daily COVID tests have all been part of our protocol. We take COVID-19 very seriously, and there have been no reported cases among patrons or crew. The final show would have been October 4th. If you had tickets for these things, you will get refunded. From the Hollywood Reporter, Chris Rock. Yeah, we're going to talk about Chris Rock a lot this week. Listen to this story. So Rock says, although he's been addressing systemic racism and the targeting of black people by police for 30 years, he has regrets about not doing more. Rock said, even though I talked about it and I joked about it, there's a part of me that's ashamed at how much I just accepted. But listen to this story. This is the part I'm really fascinated with. Rock said he was out one night on the New York nightlife circuit, as the article calls it. And he said, I remember Eddie, meaning Murphy. I remember Eddie, Arsenio, Prince, and me at a club one night. Let's just stop there. So it's Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, and Prince hanging out. Let's break that apart. Out of those four, Prince, probably the most famous. Eddie Murphy, a really strong number 2, maybe number 1. Chris Rock is like the third most famous person in that group, and he's not even close to the top 2. And Arsenio, not as famous as he used to be, but Arsenio was pretty hot back in the day, is the fourth most famous person hanging out in a group that's Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, and Prince. Where were they hanging out? Rock tells the story. I remember Eddie, Arsenio, Prince, and me hanging out in a club one night, and Donald Trump walks in, and all these girls just start running to that side of the room because an effing 6-foot whatever blonde billionaire with his name in all the buildings walks in. Like if that room was a seesaw, we'd be in the air. From SI Live, reuse the joke. You're home for comedy news. I know I used that twice today. Saturday Night Live star Pete Davidson will lend his comedic talent to a good cause this week. A lineup of socially distant outdoor events are taking place Thursday and Friday in Brooklyn to benefit District Relief. That's a nonprofit organization trying to supply protective gear and critical care medication to as many health workers as possible during the coronavirus pandemic. The event is officially titled Bring Back Laughs. Davidson will perform. Lana Glazer, you know her from Broad City. Hassan Minhaj, Janine Garofalo, Paula Poundstone, Kenny and Keith Lucas, a.k.a. the Lucas Brothers, Sam J., Mike Kaplan, and Seth Herzog will also perform. That's pretty cool. If you're a New Yorker, it'll be the North 11th Street Cookout in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Bring back laughs. No public website selling tickets, but the performances will be available for streaming and on demand later this fall. The 2-day event will also result in a 90-minute comedy special. And Joe Pera's got a new book. It won't be out until May 2021, but it is called A Bathroom Book for People Not Pooping or Peeing, but Using the Bathroom as an Escape. Pera revealed the book's cover on Twitter. The description is: Joe Pera goes to the bathroom a lot, and his friend Joe Bennett does too. They both have small bladders, but more often, it's just to get a moment of quiet, a break from work, or because it's the only way they know how to politely end conversations. That is your comedy news for today. I think tomorrow's going to be long. I got some Just for Laughs stuff to tell you about, and a whole bunch of news stories came in that I haven't had a chance to process yet. I had some stuff going on in the personal life on Tuesday. What day is today? Today's Wednesday. Yes, good morning. That right there will tell you how my day went. Subscribe and all that, and see you tomorrow.